my sail. So, boom went the new moon. And now we're at a full moon, and it's a biggie. And there's a lot of very odd energy coming up with this full moon. And then we're heading in the next 3 weeks towards the solar eclipse, which is about the Earth grid becoming divinely masculine. But actually, it's about the emergence of something brand new, which is the Hierophantrix. So I'm just bringing you this card to have a look at. This is the Hierophant. This is the point at which the male energy, raw male energy, becomes an emperor energy, who's a pruning, gardening kind of person, working with the empress who created all life. And then there's a spiritual epiphany point that the emotional masculine has to become divine masculine. Now, this card's often been associated with powerful religious institutions, authority, but that isn't the energy of the card. That's a misunderstanding. That's the notion of the card being used by those forces to represent their divine authority, not our divine authority. So this is the Hierophant, and in this lovely Light Seers deck, what a beautiful card that Hierophant is. So either rising up the steps or laughing because he knows what's coming down the steps, which is once the Earth grid becomes divine, then our divine feminine consciousness that makes us who we are can connect into the Earth, and coming down those steps is the Hierophantrix. So this is the Hierophant in the Muse deck, and there's this wonderful idea of her seated as consciousness on the Earth grid, but now in balance. This is a new energy frequency, the Hierophantrix. So we're going to do a reading now about this energy. So I'll just pop all the cards back that I pulled out to the original decks. Bearing in mind that for years we only had one type of tarot deck, 2 or 3 at the most, and now we have a large amount of them. And a lot of them have been deliberately created as divine feminine decks with a lot more feminine messages, and that's been really important. But now these energies are coming into their own, and new frequencies are being formed. So for this reading, we're going to use 3 decks, one for cosmic energy, one for Earth grid energy, and one for us, and see what the messages are. So let's just get the decks ready and we'll swing into action. Okay, so let's start with the cosmic energies. Can you please explain the Hierophantrix? Can you please explain this solar eclipse Hierophantrix energy that's coming in, the Hierophantrix energy that's coming in? That was a bit of an awkward moment. I nearly threw all the cards. The Hierophantrix, please. Can we please explain the Hierophantrix energy? It's a lot of cards, but it began with this card here, card of justice, but actually really this is the card of balance, and it came with the Muse of emotions. So this Hierophantrix energy that's being set up is like the birthing of a new feminine balanced energy tearing through the old and coming in. It's an adjustment period. It's not instant, but it's coming. The Muse of emotions is the Zen of Cups, the King of Cups. So this is that balanced energy of masculine and feminine emotions just floating and flowing. Again, we have another card, 5 of Voices. The olive branch being brought in to merge the two halves of us, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, to create this Hierophantrix energy. And again, balance. This is the strength card. This is the balance between the divine masculine, this great big globe, and then us, seated in balance with the earth for the first time in millennia. So, it's talking about the changes that take place between the cold, frozen emotions that just couldn't work, then being melted, and here again, it's us standing on the earth. The cosmos is trying to change the frequency. I say trying to change. The cosmos is changing the frequency. It's just changing it. And it's whether you want to fight that change or whether you want to flow with the change. And it's fast. I just said it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. But it's a really important energy that's ramping up its speed as we head towards this solar eclipse. So, let's look at what the Earth grid has. What does the Earth grid have to tell us about the Hierophantrix energy? What does the Earth grid have to say about the Hierophantrix energy? Sorry, that's not the Earth grid pack. This is us pack. This is the us pack. I'm going to leave them down. They're a bit spilt everywhere. Now do the Earth grid ones. So, Earth grid, please. I already did that. Earth grid. What's the Earth grid doing? What's the Earth grid doing? Those two have just spun. What's the Earth grid doing, please? So, it began with, what's the Earth grid doing? It's reaching a completion of a cycle. A massive, huge, universal, cosmic, karmic cycle is already completing inside the Earth grid. It's just waiting for the 21st to reach this final frequency. The frequency is already there in the Earth, but it needs to be sort of supercharged. So we've got that taking place. And then we have the Earth grid is, this is interesting. We've got 9-9 and we've got 2 1s. So the Earth grid frequency is finally bleeding away the cruelty, the anxieties, the emotions, all of those that we experience, those emotions that have been so difficult are now being, melted, really melted. And we're coming into the energy of being a spiritual warrior, getting back up and knowing the balance. And this is the sun and the moon. This is at the eclipse point. This anxiety feeling will really start to shed, because the energy that the cosmos is sending down, that we've just said about pulling balance, is going to really lift that energy back from the earth. And what do we have? We have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Discs. The Sword of Truth creates a brand new earth. 9 and 9, 1 and 1, and then we have 10. 10 and 10. 10, 10. That's a really important number. Completions and new beginnings. And also, it's about understanding the spiritual pathway that you're on. And this particular one with the Ophium mentioned in it is about moving past all that was before. Actually, I've never seen that before, but we've got 6661 hidden inside the center. Why have I never seen that before? Well, it looks like 661. It is 661. So this is about being in balance with the animal kingdom. A new beginning in balance with the animal kingdom. Beautiful. And we have a repeat. The cosmos sent down strength. The earth fractals are sending the same strength. But here's the interesting thing about this beautiful card called Lust. This is the raw and emotional masculine energy becoming divine as it looks to the light, as the divine feminine finally enters the earth grid and creates new energy frequencies for you and also for the earth and for everyone around us. It's a renewal. And the lust part is about returning a passion for living, because for a lot of people now, life has just been endlessly hard. Unless you're in the very wealthy higher echelons, it's been a real problem for most people to get through everything. So, Three of Pentacles. Now this card, for me, this version of it, in this deck, is about source energy. This is the Nikola Tesla 369. It's when the molecules that have been shaking finally get their divine nine, the divine nine that's up there, and the energy changes. And it's got to happen. It's part of a fixed moment in time. So let's look at how this affects us. Wow. Wow. So it's mending our hearts. This is the Three of Swords. But the interesting and beautiful thing about this primal, guttural scream is being responded to as threads now start to come in to bind up the heart, to bring the lower and higher heart chakra together to create a new frequency of a third heart that will make us resonate with the natural world, anchored to the natural world. Look, just here, the heart is finally anchored to the tree and we're ready to grow together. And this Page of Swords is just, it's inspiration, it's joy, but it's a tiptoe gently across your thoughts. You've got to really, I'm hearing calm. You need to be calm in the face of things. So, all right, so I don't want to get particularly political about things, but they are saying just remind people about language. You know, you don't want to be posting things where you call individuals you don't like by bad names. We need to stop all of that kind of language because it's loaded language. We need to just point truths, point them out calmly. There's no sense of retribution over this change. This change isn't about a French Revolution where we behead people. This is about inspirational language to start writing a brand new chapter for the world with a fixed heart, with our hearts mended. Now, how do we know that the hearts are mending? Because there's so much heart energy here. So you've got this, mended, the Ace of Cups. Absolutely beautiful. And you see how it's forming around the heart chakra, this new, brand new, fluid, wonderful energy of the heart. Now, when the new moon went boom, I switched to this source frequency of this kind of energy. I was, for 10 days, I was in a dream state, awake, with physical people that weren't really there, standing around me, basking in the energy, taking the creativity, developing it. Molecules were being visualized in my hand. as tiny particles that could be manipulated. There's all kinds of new energy structures being formed between the cosmos, the earth, and the energy going back up through us. So we have the Ace of Cups, followed by the Two of Cups. This card is now going to always be mirrored soul territory since that last reading, but this is the ability when your heart is in line. Like when I held this field, this is the energy that I was sharing. This energy of filling my cup and someone else's cup. And it wasn't just one, I was actually connected to lots of people. But it's about renewal, refreshment, bringing new change, energizing. Ace and Two of Cups is being followed by the Knight of Cups. And he's actually coming through today as a true and honest. This is the earth and the cosmos, but particularly the earth, bringing you its flowers, bringing you something it's grown and offering you. Because the earth wants to say that regardless of how you may have behaved towards the earth, with our polluting and our littering and our disposing of things, the earth still loves us. The earth is writing love letters down here, writing love letters and waiting for us to write back to the earth and fill that bowl with emotions. And where's this Hierophantrix energy coming to? Queen of Pentacles. Look, this is us. All of us, eventually, in this new earth frequency. Imbalance. Totally imbalance. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. As I'm looking over the top of the cards at these, the shininess, the joy, the comfort that's pouring from these cards is absolutely unbelievable. So I push them across and I'm just going to ask, what do we need to do to prepare for the solar eclipse and this Hierophantrix energy? What do we need to do to prepare for this solar eclipse and the Hierophantrix energy? Very funny. So I just get one for each, hopefully. Interesting. What is this Hierophantrix energy doing to us? There's two for that one. So, Hierophantrix energy, look, it centers from the cosmos, the divine feminine magician. This card in traditional tarot is always the raw masculine, but in the 1960s, Kali Ma, divine, raw feminine energy came down and started to shake the frequency to prepare the pathway for the earth grid to become emotional masculine. That happened at the last eclipse. So we've been basking in that, but it's causing ripples to come out of us now, emotions to come up, discomfort, ugliness, hatred are all coming out because they're raw masculine energy, and it's about trying to establish an egoless world community, really. That's what the Hierophantrix is. It's about being without ego. So we have in with that, the earth grid is sending us the energy to cut away all the things that we don't need to remove the ego. Look, there is the ego in her hand, and she's just about to put her sword away because the job's done. What does this do? What does this bring to us? It brings us... Did we have that card earlier? Sorry, just curiously. So, judgment. We will be reborn anew. This is Hierophantrix energy resonating from our new 3-level heart to the world. And this judgment card of 20, and it is 2020, and remember, the 2020 judgment is about being judgmentless. So don't judge others, just accept. If you can accept, we can have reasonable debate to move the world forwards, and that's the really important part. So this wonderful card came with the additional one of each of us, each individual soul, and this is a divine feminine card. Even in traditional tarot, it was one of the very rare cards about a woman being strong and independent, but this is actually about all of us being connected, balanced between our masculine and feminine divine parts to create this Hierophantrix, living in the real world, connecting with spirit. Absolutely beautiful. So because I can't stop myself, I'm just going to do a little Lenormand. So Lenormand, what have you got? What have you got for us, Lenormand? So we're at crossroads, and actually what they're saying about this crossroads, it's crossroads in time, it's a crossroads in energy, it's a crossroads in dimensions. But there's two paths at the moment. Eventually, both those paths will meet back up, regardless of which path you choose. It's just which journey do you want to take? Do you want to take the difficult one or the easy one? So there's a flow of the earth that's the most loving, beautiful, warm energy. Or there's the difficult path. But there are paths. And it doesn't matter which one you pick for the moment. That's your personal pathway journey. But what we're trying to do is break down the mountains. And usually the easiest way to get past the mountain is to walk around it. So that's the journey. Either climb up to the top and battle all the way, or just set off and move calmly, swiftly. And then we have snake energy. This is the egg. This is the divine masculine earth energy. And inside, sun and the moon again, eclipse, the birthing of the Hierophantrix energy. And where does this lead us? It leads us to... Now, it's the card of house and dog, which ordinarily would be a message about the importance of the home and the importance of the loyalty and clarity within the home. But actually, this is about us being at home within ourselves. So this wonderful crystal ball of intuition, the warmth of the fireplace, the divine fire. This is like sun and moon. So we're getting to that stage where we're creating a new sacred space within us that will help us to move and flow towards a much better future. So considering the energy that's out today is a lot softer than yesterday for me. It might not be for you because I can still feel that tense energy, but I'm no longer riding it like I was yesterday. Actually, I was having a complete throw all the toys out of the pram day yesterday. So the energies are changing. There's a lovely movement as we head towards this solar eclipse, but there is a lot to shed still. So there's a lot to face emotionally, but you need to do it with a really calm, clear vision of where we're heading. Anyway, that's a beautiful reading, and have a lovely day, and I'll be back very soon. Wassail.